Good morning. Where does the time go? I was just in meditation for myself, and 6 o'clock just rolls right around. I am so thrilled to be here with you. This is such a pleasure to be able to share this time with you in the morning. And I am having coffee, but this time, yesterday I had better coffee. This time I have coffee with more like a latte, and I put beef collagen in it. I've noticed, at least I think I've noticed, a difference with, I'll get into the prayer in just a second. And I've been making the bone broth for the collagen and the protein and everything, and I have noticed a difference in my skin and my hair. So I didn't have bone broth, but I had this beef collagen that doesn't have any flavor, and so I whipped it up in my coffee, and I'm having that this morning. So anyway, I hope you have your tea, or if this is the afternoon, you have, you can still have some tea to sip while we're doing our meditation and prayer. I am excited, as per usual, about what we're going to be talking about, because it's about, are you judgmental or are you being discerning? There is a difference. Oftentimes when we start on the spiritual path, or if we've been on the spiritual path for a while, we adopt a persona that tends to be passive because we want to love everyone. Right? We want to love everyone. We don't want to be judgmental. We want to heal ourselves and heal the world. There's a lot of stuff that comes with being spiritual. And there's a wonderful story that Bruce Lipton tells about judgment and discernment, actually about discernment, that when he discovered the spiritual world, he wrote a book called Beyond Belief. I think he's a cellular biologist. And so he figured, the whole universe is source energy, is this divine presence. And so he's having this awakening. And there's this guy that moves in next door. He's in Barbados or somewhere. He's on an island. And he said the guy gave him kind of the creeps. But he thought, it must be me. I'm being spiritual. I'm being judgmental. And every time he saw this guy, his hair would stand up on his arms. Well, he was transferred to another island to teach. He was teaching at a university, and he had the trucks pack up. The movers pack everything up, and his very helpful neighbor came over, to help and everything. So he goes to this other island, and his stuff never shows up. Well, the neighbor stole everything. And, it's in his book. It's in one or two of his books. Anyway, so the neighbor took everything. And it was a very eye-opening lesson that being spiritual doesn't mean that you're not discerning and that you don't have, you're not aware of your circumstances. And so let's just handle that right now. Yes, you can be spiritual. Yes, God, source, divine presence is in everyone. But remember, the divinity is a potential unless it is realized. So yes, it's there. Yes, I can see the divine potential in that person and in that situation. But if it is not their karma or their time to look inward to touch it in themselves, then that person is unconscious, and I can make a decision whether or not I want to engage with them and how much I want to engage with them. Yes, take a deep breath, sigh it out. I know a lot of people feel relieved, right? So you can decide how much interaction you want to have with someone who is unconscious. It is not your job to be a savior for that person. It is your job to be your divine self, your best self, your highest and best version of you. That is your job. I believe that energy is infectious. And it could be that as you're being yourself and you're being the love that you are, and and you're living your highest version of your life, that your energy may awaken something in someone else. That's the experience I had with my first teacher, Linda. When I saw her as my first spiritual teacher, sitting in her chair, reading her book, and I'm in the kitchen. I tell the story a lot. I'm in the kitchen cooking dinner for the two of us, and I just see this love coming off of her, this love of spirit, and she was comfortable in her own skin. And I remember thinking, that's what I want. She never preached to me. She just was a demonstration of that love. And it woke something up in me, a yearning that I didn't know that I had, a yearning for peace, a yearning for a deeper connection. Anyway, so that could happen, but it's not our job to go out and to, preach to people and unless they're asking you. Yes? Everybody take a deep breath. Sigh it out. So what about this thing of being judgmental? So we're going to talk a little bit about the ego, because this is really, really important. When you are judging someone, when you are criticizing, and when you are complaining, you are stuck in ego consciousness. I don't see the need for ego. Ego to me is a condition of separation from source. Yes, the source is right where I am. And the more egoic energy I have, the further away I am from my source. And you might even find yourself saying, that person has a tremendous amount of ego. And people who have ego are, interested in controlling other people. They tend to harm people, right? The more unconscious we are, the more harm we cause to self and others. So the less egoic consciousness we have, the more in tune we are with the goodness and the love that we are. So we know we are participating in egoic consciousness when we are judging others and we're not being discerning. Seeing that somebody is unconscious and that they're causing harm to themselves and others is not a judgment, it's just a fact. I don't have a feeling about it. I just make a decision how much I want to participate in it, if at all. Yes? So if I'm judging, if I'm comparing myself to others, or I'm comparing this person to this person, if I'm being critical, then I am in egoic consciousness. So I just want you to pay attention to that, because that being an ego has karma attached to it. Karma just means action. It's not a punishment. Everything that you do has an equal and opposite reaction. If I am giving out love, I'm going to receive love. Now, not from the person that I'm giving the love to. That's quid pro quo. It doesn't work like that. The love is going to come in some other form from the universe. I am going to live in love. If I am being judgmental and critical, I'm going to reap that harvest. Yes? I'm going to reap the harvest of my judgment in one form or another. And here's something that's very important. Everything that you say about another person, your subconscious mind accepts that about you. So if you say, look at that person, blah, 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 we all get into this, and you're being critical. Your mind agrees that that's you too. So it doesn't know the difference between the other person and you. So that's the other way that we experience that criticism, right? If I'm being critical, I'm probably paranoid that other people are criticizing me. Yes? And that doesn't feel good. So our prayer then is to move into the remedy for all of this. And the remedy is love, right? Love of self. And that love spills out into the family. It spills out into the community. It spills out into the world. And this is what I found. I'm still reading The Hidden Power of the Bible by Ernest Holmes. And he says, without love, there is no hope of growth. The soul, unloving, becomes unlovely. I love that sentence. The soul, unloving, becomes unlovely. Love is the giving of the self, and without this flow, there is no growth, no ripening of the finest force known in all nature. All mystics talk about this profound love and peace when they are in alignment with the source, with the divine presence within. Love itself is the universal urge of spirit for self-expression. Love itself is the universal urge of spirit for self-expression. That is what you have. You have that inside of you, that love. That judgmentalism, the critical part of us is just ego consciousness. You can just take a deep breath, forgive yourself, and move back into that state of love. And when this is stifled in the individual, life cannot express its greater good. So we are meant to express love. So that's what our prayer is going to be. It's going to be about expressing love and moving the hurt out of the way. This is what comes up a lot for me this is what I'm feeling, is if I love, then I'm opening myself up to being hurt again. And that's just your ego. That's just the egoic consciousness, not knowing that that's just not true. The more aligned you are, the more powerful you become, right? I like Teflon. All right, you ready? Feet flat on the floor. Good morning. Eyes closed, chin tilted slightly down so the back of the neck is nice and long. And let's take 3 ha breaths together. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. And let's pull down that beautiful golden light coming into the top of your head. The golden light moves down into the spine, down into the nervous system, healing and balancing the nervous system. That light moves down the backs of your legs to the bottoms of your feet. The light fills the body. It fills the body and spills outside of the body so that the light is in you, it's moving through you, and it's all around you. This light of health and well-being, wealth and love. Breathing into the light, moving your attention to the area of your heart. And just breathe. And we ask the divine presence to remove any boulder, to move beyond the hurt into the center of our own being, that we may touch the love that is already present within us. And in touching that love, it spills out into the world, bringing healing. Healing for ourselves, our family, our community, and our world. We ask, too, that the divine presence bless the people in our lives. And we send them love, love without judgment, love without fixing, just the pure energy of love. And we ask for their awakening, if it serves their highest good, because we can vision a community and a planet that is harmonious. We can envision a planet where everyone is in harmony with one another, where there is mutual respect, knowing that this comes from that deeper love. And we are knowing this in our lifetime. Harmony, community, love, cooperation. So we are knowing an upliftment of this planet. We are knowing an upliftment of our own spirits. We are so grateful for this time together. We are so grateful for the love in our life. The love that shows up as friendship, as a partner, spouse, as an animal. We're so grateful for that love that we have, because it is your love, divine presence, being reflected back to us. And we are knowing that we are never alone in this vast universe, that we are always guided, that we are always supported, that we are always loved. Everybody take a nice deep inhale and sigh it out. Very gently opening up your eyes, coming all the way back to the room. Give yourself a hug. Give yourself another hug because it feels good. So I invite you to take that into your morning. Maybe just sit with that feeling of love. And I love that part about, the people and the animals in our lives, the people that show us love. That's God's love or divine presence. I know I dropped the G word, makes people uncomfortable sometimes. But that's God's love showing, revealing itself to us in and through other people. And that's you too, when you're looking at people with the eyes of love, right? That's source energy looking at them. And you never know what's going to happen from that. Anyway, I am just excited. We're going to have a great day, and I will see you here at 6 a.m. on Monday morning. And get ready because I am opening up the doors for the spiritual mentorship program. Super excited about that. So I'll be giving you guys more information later. But have a happy, happy day. Bye.